welcome to, well, midweek, a mix between a midweek and a weekend shave. Thank you for tuning in, and first of all, to those who are, usual suspects of this channel, sorry there was no weekend shave upload, and I did not shave. Today's Tuesday, and the reason for that was that we had a very, very difficult weekend. So the energy just wasn't there, and yeah, it was horrible. A horrible weekend, and hopefully things is in time going to turn forward to better. Oh, that was sort of a claim. Alright, so what are we doing today? We're doing something that I have been said I would do for a long time, but sort of hadn't had the energy to put together. But now it's the time. Let's get it done. Sort of a battle of adjustables, going to compare two razors, for those who are interested. So let's see what we are working with, and I'll give you as much information as I can. First razor we're going to do is the Yaqi Final Cut. So this is basically a video showcasing my most expensive adjustable razor and pinpointing it against the most inexpensive razor adjustable that I own. And this is this one. In comparison to quality make and such. The Yaqi Final Cut. Adjustable from officially 1 to 6, and mine goes to setting perhaps 8.5. I don't know if that's common, but that's what this one is. Second one is the Rockwell T2 stainless steel. Complete different razor, and look, completely different price point as well. So it's kind of fun to see how do they hold up against each other. And I've of course had some thoughts on that along the way. We're going to load them with the same, not the same blade, but same kind of blade, an Astra Blue. I know that's not the most sharpest blade, but to keep it equal, they're loaded with the same blade. Brush we're going to be using is a pearl brush, synthetic, and has sort of a scrubby feel to it. Just going to put that aside in water. Pre-shave that we're going to be using is sterling, because someone noticed that sterling recently came into stock here in my country, so I'm shaking a bit. So this is the mentholated pre-shave. I'm going to talk about how it performs and how I use it. So we're going to be using, it's also sterling black ice, so it's a licorice scent, scooped out there, used a lot of times. Beautiful product this, nice mentholation. In my favorite ball, my Room ball from Room Yarns. If you want a link, I can provide you with one. So that's basically it. Let's get this show on the road, huh? Lots of whiskers to take care of today. And that's it. And today I even brought a cloth here. More prepared than I've been a lot of times. So it's not a pre-shave, it's a balm, and I have to say it's a bath soap. It's a pre-shave bath soap. Looks like it. Mine looks like this. So I've been using it quite a lot. Wet it and rub it on your skin like you would, the cube, if you know that one. Now the mentholated version here holds what I would class as a mild menthol level. Stick that aside. And then we'll lather it on the face with our hands, cool water. It does lather up does clean your skin and provides you with a nice pre-shave. But I would say my experience is that if you put lather, shaving soap lather on top of this, it's going to sort of help it dissipate. So keep lathering it, wetting it down, wetting your whiskers, and then rinse it off, leaving some slickness behind. So don't dry your skin. You see it already starting to dissipate a bit. So let's get going. Rinsing. Nice and cold. There you go. Beautiful. And what I do is I leave it like this. And then we'll do the lather. Instantly. Let's see. And yes, this brush has a slight sort of scrubby feel to it. Like it's almost a natural hairbrush, but it's not, it's a synthetic. Nice licorice scent, sort of a scent strength of I would say a 5, and lathered 5.5 perhaps, if we are in that sort of terminology. But sterling good soap, good quality, lovely peaks. So we'll lather up and we'll keep the goatee, but we will lather that up as well. Just because I like the feeling. There you go. Doesn't get much better than that. Slight clean up here and there. And then we'll get going. I'll show you how to load each of these razors. The Yaqi first. Turn here until it drops, and then you can push this up. And we have our blade here. And yes, this video might take slightly longer than the last couple. There you go. And put it on here. There you go. And push this here. So it's an even comparison. I'll turn it up to setting 6, the official most aggressive setting here. There you go. Rockwell, turn this. It's a few turns before it opens. There you go. It's sticky. There you go. Put it in here and close. A few safety turns. Oh, sorry. I also like to do this. Turn it. Once it's open, most aggressive. And then close it all up. There you go. So, this is how the Rockwell T2 looks on the most aggressive setting, and here is the Yaqi most aggressive setting. Right. This side here is going to be Yaqi, and this is the Rockwell. And here they are right next to each other. Yaqi is obviously a short handle one, good for travel. And this goes more aggressive than this. And we stop. Alright. The Rockwell. Long handled, longer. Nice. And obviously there's no contest in comparison to, because the Yaqi just comes in a cardboard box and the Rockwell T2 comes in this lovely case here with instructions, and also I've done a review on that, in showcase on that in the initial review. There you go. Now, off the bat, there's no comparison. One is a Mac, inexpensively made, not cheap made, no, but inexpensive. And the other one is made of stainless steel and somewhat more costly. Now you can get the Yaqi final cut in a sort of a brass version, I think, or maybe even a stainless steel one now. But that's not what this review is about. Let's wet this even more. There you go, much better. That was a bit too pasty. Good. Slight clean up. Again. And then we'll turn it down. Let's just go down one setting to 5. Setting 5 here on the Yaqi. And here. I don't think you need to open it, but I do just to be sure. Setting 5 here on the Rockwell. There you go. There's no overhang on this, and there's no overhang on the Yaqi as well. Now the first pass I would say that they were more or less equally aggressive. You could feel that this has been toned down a bit. Let's see what the Yaqi here. Oh, sorry. And there was no noticeable difference between how much was cut or shaved. Just off the bat here, I would say that the Yaqi maintains more of its bite. And I accidentally cut some of the bristles here. That's not good. Let's see if we can trim that. Let's just have a look, feel here. 2 passes. Yeah. First pass there was no really any difference, but second pass the Yaqi, you could feel that has more bite to it and it's more aggression, and it's taken up more than here. So setting 5 here would perhaps be 5.5 on the, oh sorry, not 5.5, would perhaps be setting 4 on the Yaqi, or setting 5 on this one, the Yaqi, would be setting 5.5 on this one. But let's turn it now to setting 4. There you go. 4. Both razors are good razors. They provide wonderful shapes, both of them. Used them a numerous amounts of time. There you go. You turn and stop. Okay. Wet the brush slightly more. Let's give it a go. Lovely, invigorating scent. Refreshing. Good. Yaqi. Even on setting 4, we'll say it's still on this sort of aggressive side. I like the maneuverability of the Rockwell better, but that's simply because it has a longer handle and better sort of control and grip. But I do believe you can get this in a sort of XL version. Good. Yeah, that's it. We won't compare this bit here. Now this is turning into sort of the milder arena, sort of a mid section, perhaps even lower mid section on setting 4. So a lot more happen when you turn the dial on the Rockwell. The Yaqi do turn mild, but perhaps it takes a few more turns for it to go mild than this one does. Perhaps takes a bit more strokes here. Yeah, it does. It does take a bit more strokes to get this cleanly shaved. Good. That's it. I'll give you my final thoughts after a face wash, and I'll see you at the post shave. As always, lovely and refreshing feel. Alright, my own concoction with witch hazel and menthol and peppermint. And we'll try to give this a sort of a sum up. What did we use? We'll save the racers for the last bit here. Brush, pearl, inexpensive, beautiful. Thought it would match the theme of licorice scent. Has a nice knot, soft, kind of scrubby, which is nice when you have a bit of beard growth. You need to, you know, get away. Ball. It's a lovely ball from Rune Man Shaving. Rune Yarns, my favourite ball, the best ball that I have, ceramic, best ball that I've ever had, and I cherish it like it was made of gold. Soap, that was in here. It's black ice from Sterling. Beautiful quality, beautiful scent. Scent strength of about 5, slightly stronger when you lather it. Beautiful, consistent, fresh soap and pre-shave soap. Sorry, what's this? Pre-shave soap from Sterling. Also nice slickness that it provides. Before we put on the splash, I think that's it. We're going to sum up the razors, and if there's a winner. First, the Yaqi final cut. Settings 6, 5 and 4. Equal settings on both razors. They started out, to my feel, equally aggressive. This one goes a bit beyond 6, but I don't know if that's just mine. So that's why we do equal settings. Blade feel, yes. Efficiency, yes. Short handled, no overhang, no issues with the adjustments. A bit on the inexpensive side in terms of price, but also what it's made of, and that's also something that goes into the overall adjustment. But it's shaved well. Rockwell T2, same settings, 6, 5 and 4. As I said, equal to the Yaqi in aggression on the first pass on setting 6. Stainless steel, beautiful razor, no overhang, nice longer handle, better maneuverability in my book. But as we do turn down the aggressions on them, the Yaqi tends to hold somewhat more aggressiveness. So each time you turn down 1 here, perhaps that's equal to turning down 2 settings here. So perhaps this one is just more sensitive on the tuning side. But staying on equal settings, this one got into sort of on setting 4 a sort of, what could I say, a mid aggressiveness for me. This is all my opinion. And the Yaqi would still be classified as in the aggressive range, but on the lower end of the aggressive range. Moving on to slightly just before it gets to mid aggression. Here they are side by side. Is there a clear winner? This one took a little more effort to get clean, simply because it was in setting 4, and that setting was milder than the Yaqi. I love both razors, so they have pros and cons on both sides. That makes it quite difficult for me to pick up a winner. On the aggressive side, yes, the Yaqi wins. On the material side, and perhaps even you know, the ease of loading the razor, the blade into it, that point goes to the T2. And let's fast forward, like I try to keep, you know, good care of them. Let's try to fast forward 10 years. This one might not be here. This one might not be here. Something might break, simply because it's made of zinc and sumac. Perhaps there's some brass here, so if something breaks this up here. But this one is made full of stainless steel. So if I don't want to toss it around or anything, this one will still be here, the T2. So as I said, they have pros and cons on both sides. So that was it. The sort of showdown between my most expensive adjustable razor against my most, I wouldn't say cheap, but inexpensive. There's a class below inexpensive in my terminology, which is cheap, and that is, you know, when it's clearly cheap made as well. So we'll put on the splash. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this little showdown, and I hope to see you soon again. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, but they ended up giving me an equal shave on both sides. The T2 needed a little more sort of handiwork to get the job done. But that was it. Stay happy, healthy. Remember to tell your loved ones that you love them. Take care of yourself. And this is Hans from HG Shaves signing off.